So please, with all the unity of Naples love in your heart, welcome up our friend and sister, Ester Nicholson. Come on.
Love you, baby.
Good morning, Unity. I'm so honored to be here. You guys keep having me back. Maybe you like me or something. So before I get into my talk, I want to sing to you about the power of change. So how many of you are experiencing change and shift, S-H-I-F-T, in your lives today? And so here's what happens. Even when we have experienced over and over and over again that it's going to be okay, haven't you already experienced that? And maybe the darkest nights of your soul, you've come out on the other side of it. Even though we know that, when another growth spurt comes, when another shift happens, we get afraid. We're like, maybe God's not going to be there this time, or maybe just this time I'm not going to be okay. And I'm here to tell you, you will always be okay, because you are one with the infinite. So I want you to just think of that place where you are being asked to stretch and grow beyond your comfort zone, where you're being asked to step out of the familiar into the unfamiliar. As you just listen to the words of this song, just take a breath with me. Here we go. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone must change. No one and nothing goes unchanged. The young become the old. Mysteries will unfold. 'Cause that's the way of time. No one and nothing goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, hummingbirds do fly, winter turns to spring, a wounded heart will heal. I know what I'm talking about, but never much too soon. No one and nothing goes unchanged. The young become the old. Mysteries, I promise you, they will unfold. 'Cause that's the way of time. No one and nothing goes unchanged. Yeah. Things in life you can be sure of, but I know that God is real. Can I get an amen? And the rain comes from the clouds every day. The sun lights up the sky, even when you can't see it. gotta believe it. I know, yeah.
Rain comes from the clouds.
She will never leave you alone.
Lights up the sky.
Right in the midst of the storm. Oh, there I am. Oh, it's gonna be alright.
Rain comes from the clouds.
Oh, she's the same today and yesterday. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Yes, it is.
To fly.
Birds to fly. Everything must change. I know
Nothing stays the same.
the real you is right in the midst of the change. Yes, she is. Oh, that's the way. That's the way God planned it. That's the way it really is. No one and nothing goes unchanged. Are you ready? Everything must change. Oh, come on, yeah.
Nothing stays the same.
Come on. She's got you in her hands. That's the way of time. Everything must change. Yes. You ready to change? Come on. Come on. Yes. So I want to talk to you about today the path of change. The title of my talk is Homesick for Your Real Self. How many of you are homesick for your real self? You've caught a glimpse of it. And maybe you can't maintain it or sustain it, but you know it's there. And you're so ready to go home to your real self. How many of you are ready to come home to your real self? Yes? And so I want to share with you what I believe is the most powerful, effective, and practical roadmap back to your authentic self by way of recovery. Not recovery from something, as in recovering from some financial, emotional, or physical crisis you might be facing right now. So we're not going to talk about recovering from anything. I want to talk about the recovery of that aspect of you that is spoken about in Genesis, where God looked around at everything it had made and said, God looked around at everything it had made and said, it is good and very good. I want you to say, I'm good and very good. I want to talk about the reawakening to your essential nature of worthiness. Let me hear you say worthiness. And even though I didn't cover this with Reverend Mark, he said that you guys are cool. You cool? I want to talk about the rediscovery of your badass sexiness. Can I get an amen? How many of y'all like feeling sexy? I know I do. But there was a time in my life when I thought that being sexy, or whatever that was supposed to mean, and beauty and loveliness, I thought all of that had to do with how much weight I gained or lost. I thought that had to do with the kind of clothes I wore, the kind of makeup I had on. But what I came to understand, that as long as I was walking around with those life-diminishing, insidious beliefs in unworthiness, not enoughness, and undeservingness, I couldn't color it up, suck it up, and tone it up no matter how hard I tried. Can I get an amen? Because those beliefs, while I was walking around with those beliefs, they were making my decisions without my conscious permission. Can I get an amen? They are insidious. Let me hear you say insidious. Insidious in the program of recovery is called cunning, baffling, and powerful. How many of you know about that? Cunning, baffling, and powerful. But in just general terms, insidious means subtle, sneaky, underhanded, behind the curtain, subtle and relentless. And so this illusion, these hardcore illusions, false illusions of a false identity, they are showing up in such sneaky, subtle ways in your life that you don't even know what just made this decision for you. But let me tell you what it looks like. It looks like you saying yes when you really mean no. Can I get an amen? It looks like not being able to stand in your truth and being quiet when you need to speak up. Can I get an amen? It looks like having unhealthy boundaries, and it looks like accepting something in your life that you know in your soul is too small for you. You know in your soul it's not what you really want, but the insidious nature of unworthiness will swear up and down to you that it's all you can have. And so you make the decision from that place. And I remember a while ago, I was in negotiations with a potential client, and I was having a great day. I was all prayed up and all spiritual and everything. And I get on the phone in this negotiation with this potential client, and all of a sudden my energy just went, whoom. Oh man, I got this sick feeling in the pit of my gut. I was like, whoa, what's going on there, sweetie? I call myself sweetie. I was like, what's going on there, sweetie? She said, something ain't right. I was like, well, what's not right? And what came to me was I was having this sick feeling in the pit of my gut, not because I was in negotiations with a client, but because the insidious illusion of unworthiness was seeking to negotiate with the truth of my beingness, and it wasn't a match. How many of you felt that sick feeling in the pit of your gut when you said yes when you meant no, or when you were getting ready to agree to something because you were afraid that if you didn't agree to it, it was going to go away? Huh? And so I said, whoa, I can't make decisions from that place anymore. See, here's the thing about spiritual awakening. You find yourself not able to do the things you used to do. Because you are changed, you are transformed. You just can't do it anymore. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what's next. But you know you just can't do it that way anymore. I want you to say, I can't do it that way anymore. I can't make decisions from that place anymore. Okay, so once I got that straight, the insidious illusion of unworthiness was like, thought I had her. So let's get at her this way. So then I started saying, who do they think they are? Making me an offer like that. Don't they know who I am? I'm Ester Nicholson. And that sick feeling was still in the pit of my gut. I was like, what's the matter, boo? I call her boo. I'm like, what's the matter now, boo? She said, self-righteousness and arrogance clothes itself as unworthiness just as much as saying yes when you mean no. Can I get an amen? Neither of those energies are based in freedom. Neither of those energies are based in your authentic self. They are based in fear. And so I made a decision. It's like, okay, I got to get off this call right now. I have to get back to you because I need to go in my closet. I need to go in my inner sanctuary, and I need to do my soul recovery. I need to recover my soul because I've gotten lost here for a moment in fear. And I have to go do my soul recovery work, the work that I want to teach you about this weekend. And so I went into my inner sanctuary and I did my work and I did my tapping and I did my steps and I did my prayers, and until the fire, the spark was revealed of my true identity. And I came out of my closet making this decision. I got to leave the deal on the table. Say, leave the deal on the table. I decided I was willing to walk away with nothing. Say, walk away with nothing. I was willing to walk away with nothing if it had to come from the place of arrogance or from the place of saying yes when I meant no. Because here's what I understand, is when you walk away with nothing, in the name of your self-value, in the name of your self-worth, in the name of your true identity as an expression of God, that seeming nothingness that you're walking away with will be filled with the inexhaustible something by the infinite universe that is beyond your wildest imagination. Can I get an amen? It will be filled, y'all. I promise you. I can't tell you how many times I've walked away from something that I thought if I didn't have it this way, I wasn't going to survive, or I wasn't going to have my needs met, and my knees were shaking, and my heart was beating fast, and my mouth was dry, but something in me knew, oh no, you're bigger than that. You can't do that. Walk away with nothing. It's like, okay, I'll walk away with nothing. And bam, just like that, the windows of heaven that were never closed in the first place, I lined up with it. That lines you up with it. And then that which is for you, which is beyond your wildest imagination, now has an opportunity to come through because you got on up out the way. Yes? And so that is why this talk is so important to me, because I have so many people that come to me with these issues of career issues, purpose issues, money issues, health issues, and when we sit down and we unpack what's actually going on underneath the conditions that they're facing, always, they don't feel worthy, they don't feel good enough, they don't feel deserving. They're filled with shame and guilt, which blocks the flow, which blocks the connection that is required to live your best life. And I think that those beliefs, those insidious false beliefs that we all hold on to until we don't. We all hold on to until we don't. I think they're costing you too much. I think the cost is too high. So I want you to just take a second. Look at that place in your life where you're saying yes when you mean no, where you've accepted something that just doesn't give you joy. My new motto is either a heaven yes or it's a heaven no. Right? So I want you to look at that place where you're being small, where you are making decisions based on fear versus based on who you really are. And I want you to ask yourself, what is it costing me? Because you got to get clear what it's costing you. Sometimes we can kind of just go in the zone and we can go unconscious and we're not even clear about what these illusions are costing you. Are they costing you your dignity? How does it feel when you say yes when you really mean no? Is it costing you your confidence? Is it costing you your empowerment? Is it costing you your financial freedom? Is it costing you living the life? Is it costing you your health? Because here's the deal. Here's what I love to tell people. If you don't deal with your stuff is going to deal with you. Yes? But here's the real deal. It's not that the things of your heart, the desires of your heart, and all of your needs met from the absolute overflow, it's not that you're not worthy of having that experience, of stepping into that vibration. It's not that you're not worthy or deserving of that. It's that the thoughts that you habitually think, your addictive thought patterns, are not worthy of you. They're not worthy of you. They're too small for you. Yes? Because here's the thing. When you come into alignment, when you line up with the divine intelligence, the infinite love, the divine truth that sets you free, your true identity, you don't even have to heal unworthiness and shame and undeservingness, because in that vibration, it doesn't even exist. When you are home, when you have come home to your authentic self, you are empowered. You are confident. You are clear. You are centered. You are grounded. You are abundant. And you walk towards your purpose without hesitancy. Say without hesitancy. Because when you're home, you know that you're safe. Can I get an amen to just feeling safe? To just feeling safe. And so, what I know is the perfect, powerful roadmap that I've had the opportunity to practice for 33 years and to teach to hundreds of people is this roadmap of the 12 steps of recovery, coupled with metaphysical principles, coupled with other healing, powerful healing modalities. And I call this work soul recovery. Now, soul recovery not only has the power to address those life-threatening, obvious addictions that we're so aware of, like drugs and alcohol and gambling and sex and all of that kind of stuff, but they have the power to address those really subtle, cunning, baffling, and powerful, life-diminishing addictions, like the addiction to the belief that you're not worthy, not enough, not safe, the addiction to chronic fear and worry, the addiction to procrastination by way of distraction to your iPhone, by way of distraction to the internet and social media. And let's not forget about the distraction and the addiction to Netflix. You know, you go on Netflix, swearing up and down you're just going to click on a movie. And what you do, you click on a series. And we all know that there's 13 to 18 episodes in a series. So you click and you're like, this is the last one. And then you click, somebody knows what I'm talking about over here. And then you click again, and you're like, okay, one more time. And then you click again, and then there's one more time. And then you come to 3 or 4 days later, zoned out, say zoned out, numbed out, dumbed out, and feeling guilty and shame that you did it again. You turned away from your purpose. You turned away from your spiritual practice. You turned away from moving forward in your life. And there's the vicious cycle. So there's this vicious cycle of addiction. Say addiction with me. Addiction is not just for those people out there. Addiction is not just, so in case you're wondering, because by the time I get to this part of the talk, there's so many people in the audience that says, oh my God, this talk would be great for my sister. She's an addict. And I just want to invite you to open your heart and your mind to the possibility that you might be an addict too. Because here's what an addiction is. An addiction is being so hardwired to a belief system. Say belief system. See, Jesus the Christ didn't say it's done unto you as you want. He didn't say it's done unto you as you affirm over and over and over and over again. He said it's done unto you as you what? As you believe. So to be so hardwired to a negative belief system, your familial belief system, your mom's belief system, your dad's belief system, it's just all up in there, hardwired in your subconscious mind. You're so hardwired to this belief system, a thought pattern or a behavior pattern, that you become enslaved to it. And what does enslaved mean? Enslaved means even when you want to get away, you can't. How many times have you said, I'm not going to do that thing again. I'm not going to think that thought again. I'm not going to go into this attitude mode again. And before it's even out of your mouth, you're already there. And that's the law of attraction, that whatever thought you think more like that thought. That's what addiction is. Now, what is the first step to healing those beliefs? You can't figure it out, can you? Have you tried to figure it out? You can't fix it. Have you tried to fix it? You can't think it away with the consciousness that created the problem in the first place. Can you think it away? Have you ever just thought yourself into a coma? I did one time. Well, several times. Okay, several times. And by the time I exhausted myself from trying to do God's job from the place of limitation, I had exhausted myself to the degree that the answer just popped through. When you let go, the answer is right there waiting for you. And you know the answer that popped through for me when I was trying to figure it out, when I was trying to think it, when I was trying to heal myself, when I was trying to fix it? I think it's the most powerful affirmation I've ever heard in my life. You know, want to know what it was? I don't know crap. Can I get an amen? That's step one. That's step one to the recovery of your soul, because you can't recover your soul with what you now know. You can't recover your soul from this vibrational frequency. You can only recover your soul by being a vibrational match of that which is already there. Can I get an amen? So the first step to the recovery of your soul is getting out of the way and knowing that you don't even have the power to get out of the way. That we must make ourselves available to that spark that Mark was talking about in meditation, that just clears away and purifies everything that is unlike itself. And then in step two, we come to believe. There's an opening now. There's an opening to something different than our familiar way of being. There's an opening where we can come to believe, where we become willing to believe that maybe there's a power greater than ourselves, that is the truth of yourself, that is within yourself, that can restore you. Restore you to what? Restore you to that part of you, that truth of you that was before you even came through your mother's womb. That part of you that is you before you got addicted to your story. But in order for that to happen, it says in step 3 that you must make a decision. You must make a decision to give this power within you 100%. In the neighborhood where I come from, we call it giving it 100. Say, give it 100. 100%. We must turn our will and our lives over to the care of this power to do through us, in us, as us, what we just can't do. And I like to say, if the God of your understanding isn't working for you, then it's time to get a new God, or it's time to get a new understanding. And so as we go through this work, and then do the deep forgiveness work and the deep excavation and the deep purification work. Here's the thing, you're not getting anything, you're waking up to the real thing. Just like Dorothy did in The Wizard of Oz. When she woke up, she was already at home in her own bed. She had a nightmare that she had gotten lost. So wherever you are feeling lost and disconnected and in lack and limitation in your life, you're having a nightmare. And this work, soul recovery, it awakens you. It awakens you to, oh, beloved, I am forever with you. I love you so much. Who would you be? Where would your decisions come from? How would you think if you knew that you knew that you knew that God loved you? How would that change you? Are you ready for that kind of freedom? For that kind of safety? Are you ready to just stop the crap and come home to your true self so that you can just breathe and know that you're safe and move boldly toward the life that you are destined for? You came here with a divine purpose that is so perfect and so uniquely designed for you. But it needs you, beloved. It needs you to get out of the way. It needs to guide you home, back to your true self. Back to that little girl, back to that little boy who used to do cartwheels in the middle of the grocery store and didn't care what anyone thought. That's the you that you want to come back to. And so I am here this weekend to serve you. I'm here. The workshop, we'll talk about that later. But for those of you who are ready to come home to your authentic self in the specific way of soul recovery, please come see me in the back of the room so we can talk about how we're going to get you home. Because here's what I know. There is absolutely no place like knowing that you're one with God or higher power or whatever it is that you call it. There's no place like being reconnected to your authentic self. It is yummy. It is delicious. It is powerful. It is amazing. I'm telling you, a woman who 33 years ago was addicted to crack cocaine, a woman who, up until I was 26 years old, couldn't sleep with the lights off by myself. I'm telling you that I know what freedom from anxiety, feeling safe in your beingness, it's for you. It's for you. Come on home. Ain't no place like it. Peace and blessings.